Dear Small Talk, we need to talk. And unlike every conversation you've started, this one is going to actually contain some information. Because I've got a problem with you. You have convinced all of humanity, and whoever invented LinkedIn, that asking, "How are you?" and not caring about the answer counts as a human connection. So, although you may be small, there ain't enough room in this town for the both of us. And since starting wars seems to be the new trend of 2026, I thought I'd start one of my own. So, here's to the beginning of the war against small talk. Sign my petition. I have a question for you. No, not you, Nix. I have a question for you. Why do you small talk? If your answer is anything other than because you feel like you should, then I'll be gosh darned. What are you hiding? Who do you work for? And why did they send you here to kill me? Tell me your secrets. Small talk is a social norm. It's what people expect of you. It's a way to trick people into talking to you. But it's also annoying as heck. Hi, how's your day going? Good. Good? Good? I think not, Rachel. If your day is going good, why are you on your 4th Red Bull, Rachel? Why have you sighed 10 times in the past 2 seconds, Rachel? Tell the truth or tell it to somebody else. People will tell you that small talk acts as a bridge, a way to say, this interaction is friendly, and please don't hate me, before indulging in more interesting banter. But don't let them brainwash you with their lies. If the interaction was friendly, you would feel safe enough to disclose how you woke up this morning from a dream where someone had sewn an extra piece of tongue onto your tongue and have been having a rather odd day since. And if small talk were truly a bridge, it would lead to deeper discussion instead of more surface-level banter with some boring guy named Greg. Like, seriously, why have we all just collectively decided to be NPCs? You know we have free will, right? Conversations aren't multiple choice questions. And yet every social interaction has the exact same dialogue tree. Hi, how are you? Good, how are you? Good. Nice weather we're having? Congratulations! You've just exchanged approximately 0 information in 45 seconds. Like, why does every conversation feel like the free trial version of the real deal? You're telling me we can put a man on the moon, and yet we can't think of one new way to greet each other? Give me a break. Preferably one far away from a gosh darn water cooler. But no, there is no break from small talk. It follows us around and tapes our mouths shut like a regretfully signed non-disclosure agreement. Even the dentist, while I've got my mouth open, is forcing small talk. Like, Miss Ma'am, you are actively poking at my teeth. What exactly do you expect me to be able to say to you? Now is neither the time nor the place for that. But you know what? There is no time or place, because small talk is stupid. We can't even get all of society to accept climate change. Or gay people. And yet this is what we agree on? So, is that it? Are we just forever programmed to engage in the meaningless exchange of singular empty words? Are we doomed to repeat the same words and phrases forever until the end of time? No. I said we were starting a war on small talk, and I mean we're starting a war on small talk. At the risk of sounding French, I hereby declare that a revolution is amongst us. And if anyone dares talk small, you shall be declared a heretic and beheaded at the guillotine like crusts off a sandwich. Or, we can just politely describe. We're still workshopping the Constitution. But, catastrophist, if we don't do small talk, what do we do? Well, I'm so glad you asked. You didn't really think I'd threaten you with becoming wee baguette and then just leave you out to dry like that, did you? No. The world is our oyster, my friend. This is your chance. Your chance to be anything you want to be, to say anything you want to say, and all for the low cost of being considered weird in the public eye. Without small talk, what do? You be bigger. Say hell with all, society. I've got to say what I've got to say. Let's do a little exercise right now. No, not that kind of exercise. Don't worry, this isn't PE class. Just pause for a second. What's the first thing that comes to mind? The first thing that came to my mind was potato skins. Quite random, one might say. Well, perfect. Random is what we want, because random is different. Random is interesting. So, step 2, take that thing you thought of and turn it into a question. For potato skins, you could say, why do recipes always tell you to peel the skin off potatoes? A, that's so much work, and B, they're the best part. And if you're a big scaredy cat and are worried that being random will make you stand out too much, you can always, optional, step 3, pad your question with grounding context. Example, you know what I've been thinking about? Why do recipes always tell you to peel the skin off potatoes? A, so much work. B, best part. Also, can you tell I'm having potatoes for dinner? Or do anything, really. As I said, the world is your oyster. Also, I'm genuinely curious if anyone did this, so please comment your questions down below. Consider it as your donation to the revolution. But, catastrophist, I'm tired and that requires more brain cells than I currently have. Well, first of all, believe in yourself, young Jedi. But second of all, don't worry, you aren't beyond saving. If your brain is acting like your lactose intolerant friend who's in denial, then you can use easier, foolproof method B. Open your eyes. Who are you about to start a conversation with? Where are you? Is there anything interesting around? Then you make an observational statement. This can be as simple as leading with a compliment, like, "Hi, I love your shirt. Do I gather that you're an insert franchise and or brand and or etc. fan as well?" Or, "That's a nice watch," straight into, "I don't have a watch, but I watched a movie recently." Boom, check out that segue. But if you don't feel like giving a compliment or there is nothing to compliment, I'm talking about you, Greg, then you could observe something unrelated to the person. For example, "Yo, that cloud looks like a Rottweiler." Or, "You know what those potatoes have got me thinking? Why do recipes always tell you to peel the skin off them? Hey, wait a second. But, catastrophist, I'm not always the one to start the conversation. What do I do if someone comes up to me and asks me how I am? I don't want the guillotine." Calm down, young people. This is nothing to fear. In fact, this is your opportunity to go from student to teacher. You have to be the change you want to see. The revolution waits for no man, after all. So, small talk comes knocking at your door. You hold steady. You garter your gear and you be bigger. Thus, when someone asks you, "How are you?" you have to be strong and take the fight to them. You have to answer honestly. I know, calm your horses. I'm not saying you have to tell them your whole life story, just throw in one extra sentence that describes the day you're having, or is a more specific answer to "how are you?" For example, "How are you? I had to go get my passport photo taken, but the Walgreens said I couldn't get it because their passport photo machine was down," which isn't even a machine. They have a camera and then they plug it into a computer, so their computer was down. But how was their computer down? And also, this is just like some McDonald's ice cream level stuff. You know. And I know that wasn't even a great response. That was still somewhat boring and generic, because it's 11 a.m. and I've accomplished nothing with my day, so that's all I've really got to say. But guess what? The bar is just so incredibly low that is still better. I'm not asking for huge talk. It's too early on in the revolution for that. All I'm asking for is bigger talk. But, catastrophist, if I'm honest and if I say a bunch of random things, it might be too much for people, and then no one will like me. First of all, no one likes you anyway. I'm talking about you, Greg. Second of all, having the courage to be disliked is very freeing. You should try it sometime. And also, I did say this was a war, after all, soldier, and in wars, sacrifices must be made. Speaking from experience, bigger talk is conducive to having more real conversations that are interesting, entertaining, and fun and exciting, but it does also sometimes cause people to think you're weird. And you won't get any second dates. On that note, is it really so bad to be talking about the universe and the meaning of life and such on a first date? I thought we were having a good conversation. And also, if he wasn't having it, why would he indulge me? I didn't open with "what do you think the meaning of life is?" We got there through back and forth dialogue. But then he texted me, "I don't think I've met anyone as willing to dive into the deep questions, lol," right after friend-zoning me, which kind of makes me think he didn't mean that as a compliment, so... And I wonder why I'm still single. All things considered, the pros still far outweigh the cons. Boring people aren't worth your time. I'm talking about you, Greg. The right people will appreciate your dedication to being interesting and maybe even join you in your delusions. So, in conclusion, the revolution is now. So stand up and talk bigger.